Hello everybody and good morning. And this is going to be the Kongdoo Starz League Round of 8 Day 2. I am BisuDagger on the microphone and super excited to be joining you guys today. I know it's 5 a.m. for some people as it is for me. But go ahead, get the blood pumping. I'm already starting my second cup of coffee, so things are going to be amping up real good for me soon, and I can't wait for these games. Already see that the chat is going, so thank you all for joining me. You early risers, you are the best. You want to see these previews. You want to see what cute outfit the Star Girl is going to be wearing today, and what starting order for the format we will begin with. I wonder if we're going to stick to the same one as yesterday, or go in reverse order, because sometimes the KSL just likes to mix it up. Now, you know what was getting me really pumped up in my mind? I for some reason can't get the Dragon Ball Z song, the theme song out of my head, and so it's been constantly playing for the past few minutes. Yeah, that's a badass song. So if you need something to get you going right before this game starts, go ahead, pop open YouTube and listen to that song. So it looks like we're going to be going with the black and gray and white style suits for the casters. And I really do like that choice. This is a very serious, no fun zone right now for these players in tournament. Because right now, this is elimination. So we're looking at the groups are going to be Quanro versus Killer, Zero versus Mong, Bisu versus Mind, and Hero versus Free. Guys, if you missed some of the games from yesterday, let me tell you, skip the ZVZ. That's okay. You don't need to watch that. But if you want to watch a video that you haven't seen yet, go ahead. Maybe pop on the Zero versus Mong video. If you were on the stream early, not my stream, but if you were on the Zuba stream early, then you were probably able to watch Bisu versus Mind. I don't know why in the world, but some vindictive person decided that they wanted to play Mind versus Bisu right before the stream started, just to remind everybody what a horrible event happened yesterday. Oh, BisuDagger, what happened? What was so horrible yesterday? I hear you. Let me tell you. Bisu lost to Mind. The PVT Bonjwa got destroyed by the TVP Bonjwa. And yes, so let's start using that word again. It's been a long time since we've had a Bonjwa. So Mind was able to overcome Bisu and just in dominating fashion. So maybe we'll see the #1 dragon come back. Meanwhile, we do have 2 dragons in this league. The 2 remaining Protoss players are dragons indeed. But they look like they're being threatened, might be slain, as Hero also has a lead against Free. And a really good exhibition of ZVP. It seemed like there was no chance he could lose. Nearly impossible. Free tried to go for several counterattacks, but even his counterattacks were pretty questionable, made some pretty bad engagements, and just did not deal with the fact that, hey, the Zerg can open up a huge door in the back of my base and just constantly Hydra rush it. So, a really unfortunate map to play on in that PvZ, and I think we're going to see a lot of trouble for Protoss players having to deal with that map, especially with that weakness exposed. So, where do you go from there as a Protoss player, where Forge expanding may not even be the right way to go forward on that map? Because you can kind of get that free nexus with the minerals at the back, but the problem is, like we saw, you open up the back by mining out the mines, killing off that temple, and then it's completely exposed towards the back door. But if you don't expand towards the back and you expand towards the front with the Forge expand, you still have to guard the ramp on the back, which, if the same strategy destroyed a temple, maybe lurker play, trying to get up the ramp along with an Overlord in the back, something tricky like that, still going to apply a lot of pressure for Protoss players. And I don't know how we're going to have to see a better PvZ player try and defeat a Zerg on that map. Okay, let's see here. New viewers, dragons. Oh, people don't know who the dragons are. Yeah, that's silly. There's Liquipedia. People can figure that out. But okay, so the 6 dragons. This was an era where Protoss seemingly had just super high win rates and were dominating in everything. And so read about it. There's a link in the chat. It'll give you some good reading material. And look at that. I really do like. That's a classy, good, sharp-looking outfit here for the Stargirl. And this looks like our 2 ZVZers here. And maybe we'll be starting with Killer versus Quanro at the beginning. I do like that we're getting that little camera in the bottom right-hand corner, getting the picture. So great news, everybody. Since we can't hear the interview, I'm just going to go ahead and talk over it, and unless you guys feel like I should remain in silence during this. That we have seen the finals venue for the KSL. And if you guys haven't read that on Team Liquid, guess where it's going to be? The GOM TV, or I guess they're not GOM TV anymore, are they? The GOM XP studio is where the KSL finals is going to be hosted. Now, that's actually a pretty big studio. Don't think just because it's in a studio that it won't be that big of a venue. Because the GSL Finals, that's the Global Star League for StarCraft 2, is also hosted there. And 3-time runner-up Sue from SK Telecom, the former Zerg, actually played in that studio several times for the finals. So just think about that, and now say, hey, if the KSL is playing in the same finals venue that the GSL plays at, are we there? Are we equals to StarCraft 2 now? As far as the popularity obviously is there, but we are back as far as getting the venues, hitting things as hard, getting the national attention and international attention. So this is really cool that the KSL will be playing there, along with the SSL, which has one of the gymnasiums. I can't pronounce the name or remember it unless I had it up. It's like the Gensu Stadium. It's where one of the previous OSLs was played. And that's absolutely going to be packed. And IU will be performing during that SSL finals. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up as far as the Brood War StarCraft world. The Jamsil Stadium. Okay. What did I say? Jinsu or something? Whatever. I just couldn't remember how the stadium was spelt. Whatever. I have a horrible memory. Let's move on from there. But yes, IU will be performing, and she's quite a big K-pop star, and she does a lot of actressing too, I guess. I haven't really seen her do a lot of stuff outside of her music, so. But she is a huge Bisu fan and loves StarCraft Brood War, so it's really cool that she's going to be participating and helping out Sonic. Of course, he has the money to afford her, even if she didn't like StarCraft, because he's just rolling in it right now. And so it seems like the two financial titans, Sonic and Yellow, just rolling out the dough to support StarCraft, which is a real cool thing. So I do believe that the SSL and the KSL are pretty much equals. I know that the Gymnasium is kind of a bigger deal as far as, and the SSL is on OGN, but the KSL, I still feel like, hey, Azubu's a pretty big platform. They've got quite a bit of sponsors, and I hate to say it, they have more star power in this Elite 8 than the other league. So I'm not going to go into any SSL spoilers. Obviously, that just happened, and I don't want to ruin that for you. But it is a very exciting Final Four now that the round of 8 has completed. So just get excited for that. I know the players aren't just like Bisu level star quality, you know, mind and whatever. But it's okay. We have that in this league. This is what the KSL is for. Sonic is showing us that there are these stars that may not have necessarily been A or S class players for their teams during the Kespa era, but can still provide amazing and quality games. Okay, and it looks like I'm not going to have to be doing this alone much longer here, as I will be popping out my co-caster. What's up? What's up, Amazing XKCD? Oh, I probably have to get this thing figured out real quick, guys. Let's see. Trying to get my co-caster on here today, guys. Bear with me as we get this ready for the game. All right, and we do see that Kongdoo is on the screen. Let me know if the noise quality or the volume quality drops as I'm trying to get this call working, and if you suddenly can't hear anything, or me, I'm too quiet, just let me know, because Skype just ruins things. It makes things really ridiculous. But that's okay. Oh, so Kongdoo yesterday, as I'm trying to figure this out. Yo, XKCD. I thought I heard him. I'm losing my mind, guys. All right. Let's try this again here. So Kongdoo actually just went for 9-pull speed yesterday, and Killer went for 12 hatch expand before pool, and Kongdoo Lings just went absolutely wild. So I mean, Killer, if he goes for a 12 hatch again, God, he's got some big balls, but I feel like that would be the dumbest thing ever. All right, retrying the call here. Retrying the call. I'm going to figure this out, guys, I promise. Thomas. XKCD. Imagine if I just yelled at him. That's why I use TeamSpeak. I don't have TeamSpeak on my computer right now, Blind Rar. But I guess I really need to get it after this. Let's see. I should be able to hear him regardless. Let me see if it's part of my audio settings here. I think I know what's going on, guys. Hey! Preach! Bisu will not get eliminated. Yeah, you shut your mouth. Thank you, Art of Turtle. There we go. Oh, I thought he was talking about Bisu. What? She is a saint. Which she are you referring to? I don't see a girl in here. Are you referring to me or Bisu or whatever? That almost earned you mod privileges, Art of Turtle, but I really don't know who you're calling a woman here, so gonna have to ignore that. Oh, looks like the player intro is picking up. Alright guys, game number 1 has started, and it looks like I'm going to just try and do this one myself. And it's just a ZVZ, so it will be relatively quick. Then during commercial break, the stream might come on and off a couple times as I try and get my co-caster XKCD on the microphone with me. But guys, this is BisuDagger on the microphone, and we will figure out these players very shortly. If you don't remember, I was describing how to remember the Korean players and which names they were. And so to remember, Killer is the one with the half man. There is no torso. So if you look at the right, he's going to be the blue guy. And then Kwanro's last character of his Korean spelling name is the guy who's balancing on the ball with the hat. So that is how we know he is going to be the red Zerg. So Kwanro spawning at the bottom left-hand corner. He was on the bottom left last time too. What was the map? Circuit Breaker, I think, that he was playing. They were playing on yesterday. Okay, so now we are on, what is it? Tau Cross? No, I'm sorry, La Mancha. I don't know why I was thinking the wrong name here. We are on the map La Mancha right now. So it looks like the spawning pool is coming down, and is this going to be a 9-pool speed build also? Oh my goodness. I really hope so. I want to see the revenge here. And what is going on? Is this the exact opposite? Or and is that a 9 hatch? So a really fast hatchery for Kwanro here, and this is going to get really interesting, guys. This 9 hatch could be pretty advantageous. I could try learning Korean letters, and that is possible. At one point, I kind of knew most of them, but it's okay. I don't know if learning the letters would really let me know Killer's name, because if I look at Killer's Korean letters, would it pronounce as Killer? I'm not necessarily sure that's how it works. So we do see that the gas is mining here, and we shall see speed very soon for Killer. God, he is on a warpath here. Look at that angry face. Some of you saying a little bit of a chubby face, but it's okay. Chubby doesn't mean anything. It just means that he has tons of prize money, and he is pretty damn good. Okay, so it looks like the Overlords are not clashing on each other. This is a 4-player map, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to find the opponent here, and Killer's at a pretty big disadvantage. So what he's doing is sending his links at the furthest possible location, and another scouting link down to the right, just to check and make sure. But he wants to go to the furthest location first, because obviously if he scouted wrong by going to the bottom right, then he would have allowed his opponent to come back into this game. So lings are already out, and this 9 hatch build is going to allow a lot of larva for lings, and Kwanro's build is actually pretty strong against Killers, because it wasn't just 9 hatch, he went 9 hatch 9 pool before he got Overlord, and not even bothering with gas right now. So Killer probably, as long as he can hold off these lings, is going to continue mining gas and getting lair, kind of like we saw yesterday with Kwanro's build. And then eventually, he'll get that Spire and have the huge advantage here. Although, Kwanro, he did build the Extractor, he might be going all in right now. If he doesn't get any gas shortly, he's just getting completely invested in lings. He has that second hatchery advantage here. He can probably identify with the fast lings that were inside of his base that it's a 9 hatch build. I mean, sorry, a 9-pole build. So now Killer is actually forced to build a creep. Well, he was forced to build a creep colony. He decided to cancel it because there are no lings coming across the map. He's got a scout in the middle of the map, so he can see if lings come down a normal pathway. It looks like the Overlord might be able to catch them here. Yes, it looks like Killer is going to be able to see what's going on. Has a nice concave up on top of that ramp to prevent any of Kwanro lings getting inside. And this is still a very interesting and precarious position here. How many times did we just see deja vu? Was that the black cat in the Matrix walking across again? Because we just saw the creep colony get canceled twice now. And it looks like this could either be a really long game with the evolution chamber, or this could just be a quick GG from Kwanro as the mutants do come out. But such a mineral-heavy investment, it looks like spore colonies are going to be the way to go. And still no gas. With such light gas, it looks like maybe Hydra builds are going to have to be the future for Kwanro. Especially if he wants to expand and get outside his second base as this game continues to go forward. Okay, so Killer still without a second hatchery. And he can only get 3 larva maximum at a time available to him to spend. And he just invested all those into mutas and has to delay his hatchery even more. So as a Zerg player who doesn't have any mutas, as soon as you can secure your base with spore colonies, with that extra hatchery advantage, you just need to constantly apply pressure with your lings, because that's the one advantage that you have, is the ground force. You can just overwhelm your opponent, because Killer doesn't have the time to build more lings when he's constantly pumping mutas out. And mutas are actually pretty slow at killing lings off until they get to a critical number of mutas. You know, even 6 is not that great at killing off lings because they spread out so well, they run so fast. But getting up that ramp is the huge challenge for Kongdoo here. He's going to have to work real hard at poking up that ramp, looking for holes, and now the hunters are out. If those mutas see any lings, they need to pick them off as much as possible. And they will shortly be across the map here. And it looks like Killer left some lings out on the right side of the map, so he's going to combine with lings and mutas at the same time, actually getting one Zergling up into the main base there. I wonder if it's going to do any damage. Did sneak its way up there. And focusing down on Overlord is that the best choice. Trying to block the supply count here, and it looks like another spore colony is going to come. And finally that Spire is going to be on its way. So Kongdoo managing to get up to that Spire tech, just quite an amazing feat indeed, and not taking any damage from Killer so far. So Killer, I think, is starting to get really far behind here. Not having that second hatchery, not having that natural, is going to hurt him so much. And could this be the end? Is Killer going to be knocked out of this tournament in just a 2-0 fashion? That would be absolutely insane. So if Killer loses here, Kongdoo is going to be either fighting Zero and another ZVZ, or Mong and a ZVT. So he's got really two really tough opponents to follow if he doesn't beat Killer. But regardless, advancing to the final 4 of this Kongdoo Star League is a feat of its own. It seems like he can get there in any league though with his early game abilities. So the lings now coming from Kongdoo again. It looks like they're going to try and storm the front here, and I think this is going to end up with a cancel on the hatchery. There's no way he could hold this if all the lings decide to come into attack, but the mutas are coming back to defend, and a really good job by Killer to make sure his hatchery stays alive. If he cannot succeed in taking the natural, this would mean the end for him. Keeping that muta count high is also extremely important. The second extractor for Kongdoo will start to help eventually, but it takes quite a bit of time to catch up in those muta numbers. So Killer right now knows he has the air advantage and needs to absolutely take care to retain that advantage as he expands outward. So the lings and the mutas are doing a pretty good job of scouting to make sure that there's not any hidden hatcheries on the map. That's exactly why he's doing these weird scouting patterns that you're thinking, why are these units all way out here to the left? But how horrible would it be to have a third hatchery that you didn't scout, just bringing in lots of larvae and income for your opponent? Kongdoo seems like he's not as worried as far as the scouting goes. He knows that Killer really can't even afford to try and have a hidden hatchery. There's not enough drones here. And this is one of those hard things, if you guys are coming from StarCraft 2 to StarCraft 1 to watch this, is that there's no opportunity to drone really hard. ZVZ is kind of similar in between the two games, but still, in StarCraft 1, if you're down a drone, you better suck it up and figure out how to manage with that one less drone, because you're not going to have an opportunity, maybe for the next like 2 or 3 minutes, to build another drone, or even longer. It's just absolutely critical portion of the ZVZ game. So seeing only 3 mutas, but a lot of Scourge are mixed into this, and Killer actually has really good muta micro, so he might be able to kill off that Scourge flock very quickly and very effectively. But building a few of his own is going to be important. I wonder if he'll suicide against the Scourge of his own air or try after the mutas himself. So we'll see what he decides to gamble on as he goes for the chase. This flock in the air for Kongdoo, though, is looking really good. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought a lot last time, though. Did I decide that I was going to call a gaggle of mutas instead of a flock? Regardless, this is evolving into straight up air battles, and like what I had mentioned earlier about maybe going for hydras, maybe going for that late game, it looks like we're not going to see that so far. I think both these players are looking to win the game off 2 bases. There's not even thought of building a 3rd base right now, but a 3rd hatchery could be possible for Quanro. I think that might be a really good decision for him. There is some level of droning for Killer, though. It looks like he's added 4, maybe 5 drones at this point to help his economy get further ahead. And that Ling's going to get picked off pretty quickly. Oh, no. It's amazing how fast Lings are. With that speed upgrade, they're so effective, and they can get away from nearly any unit. Mostly vultures are the one thing that can chase down a Zergling with speed, because vultures are super fast and they have that nice long range. Alright, so no, okay, +1 carapace, that's exactly what I was going to go for here, is try and figure out what the upgrade situation is, and they're actually on even footing. Both of them have that carapace upgrade. If you guys don't know, that's kind of like the armor equivalent for the air unit here. So the Mutas and the Scourge are going to be that much tougher, but it doesn't matter when it's an even upgrade battle. Oh, and look at this. Quanro is deciding to go for the kill. You can see that he's lining up the Scourge in such a way that will allow him the greatest amount of success. So if Quanro loses here, Killer will go into another game here. We will see one more ZVZ. So potentially lots of games today. We could have a total of 8 more games. So everybody get excited for the maximum amount of games possible played today, as we want to see these players go at it in ace matches. Lots of drama to be had. There was so many mutas there for Quanro. I think honestly, I think Killer's going to lose this. There's just way too much air. I don't know if Killer has it in him to be able to micro around and kill off as many units as Quanro has. We'll have to see, though. Ye of little faith is never good to have. I'm not sure who you guys think will win here at this point. I've got the chat open now for anybody who wants to chime in. And I apologize for saying that this was going to be a quick ZVZ, even though we had a 9-pull speed to start with and a hatch first for Quanro. Quanro shows you how to play an effective early hatchery without losing to 9-pull speed. Amazing, huh? Oh, look at all the overlords coming in here, trying to soak up the shots as they want to deal with the Mutaflock here. But actually, if any drones dive to this, that's not good. Oh, the Scourge flying in here. How do you even micro against that? And it looked like Killer actually did a decent job, but there's just not enough mutas when you think about all the mutas that you have against Quanro here. The count is so low. Oh, no. Who's going to go down here? The Overlord's coming in here to soak as many shots up as possible. And it looks like Killer's going to need to build a spore colony if he wants to survive this, but it's going to be a little bit too late. And actually, Quanro going into micro here. Oh, GG. Killer taps out. Killer taps out. Quanro goes to the round of 8. Or round of 4. I am sorry. Oh, my God. Quanro has done it. Is this it? Are the Titans the leaders of StarCraft 1 and the SOSPA era going to lose to these newer players? Quanro coming in here and toppling Killer. Who would have guessed it? Oh my goodness. And you see Quanro not as manly as Mong, unable to just chug that drink. Yo. Try one more time to get XKCD on the microphone here. I'm wondering if this is a setting that I have to deal with on OBS, which would require my stream off. Okay, guys, hang in there for 1 second. I'm going to toggle my stream off and back on. 'Cause that was game number 1, so that's how that's going to get split up if you watch my Twitch stream or Twitch VODs later. So I will be right back.